Good morning. Let us now consider how to find the remaining 5 trigonometric functions if we are given one trigonometric function. Now, let's see this. In the xy plane here, we know that sine is positive. No, all sine, cos, tan are positive. Here in this, sine, cos, tan, sine, cos, tan, sine, cos, tan. Here sine is positive, these both are negative. Here both these are negative, and tan is positive. And here we have sine is negative, cos is positive, tan is negative. Okay, this is one thing. So it means in order to find the trigonometric functions along with the one trigonometric function, we also need the quadrant to which this angle belongs, for which we are finding the trigonometric function. Another thing we had seen, that since domain means the values taken up by theta for which sine and cos are defined. Okay, domain of both sine and cosine are real numbers. Okay, so it means that sine and cosine are not restricted only to certain angles, but it can be found out for all real values. So from now onwards, we will be using x in case of the angle rather than theta. Okay, so what we had seen was sine x always lies between -1 and +1, cos x always lies between 1 and -1. Also, we had seen that where x belongs to real numbers. This is the first thing. Okay, another thing is that we know that we had seen that the sum of squares of sine and cos is 1. Okay, so what will we write? Sine squared x plus cos squared x equal to 1. Divide throughout by sine squared x, we get 1 plus cot squared x, because cos squared x upon sine squared x is cot squared x, and is equal to 1 upon sine squared x, which is cosec squared x. This is the next one we had seen. Same way, if you divide this result by cos squared, so sine squared x upon cos squared x is tan squared x, plus this becomes 1 is equal to 1 upon cos squared x is sec squared x. So these are the three results which we have seen. Also, we know that tan x is equal to sin x over cos x, cot x is 1 over tan x, sec x is 1 over cos x, and cosec x is 1 over sin x. So these are the various things which we have seen, which relates all the 6 trigonometric functions with each other. Okay, now, so if you have, suppose you are given any value of let's say sine. Okay, so using that sine you can find cos using this. So let's take for example, let sine x equal to half. It implies that cos x is equal to 1 minus sine squared x whole under root from here, because sine squared x plus cos squared x is 1. So cos squared x is 1 minus sine squared x, and so it is square root of 1 minus sine squared x. Now this would be plus and minus, because whenever we take square root, we have to take both plus and minus. Now how do we decide whether cos is positive or negative? So it means that only knowing this sin x is not enough, we should also know the quadrant to which the angle x belongs. So suppose x is in second quadrant, because sign is positive in first and second, so it could be in first quadrant, it could be in the second one. So let's say it is given to us that x is in second quadrant. So in the second quadrant we know that cos is negative, so we will take up which value? Minus of under root of 1 minus sine square x. Now once we have found this, we have reported the answer of cos x. Now tan x would be simply sin x over cos x, which gives us, again this is positive upon negative, which is negative, and we know that in the second quadrant tan is negative, so this is also satisfied. And similarly you can find the remaining 3 quadratic functions as inverse of these corresponding 3 trigonometric functions. Okay, this is one way. Another way, which is a much simpler way, is using the Pythagorean triangle or Pythagorean triplets. Okay, so if this is angle x, sin x is half means perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So using this you can find the third side using Pythagoras theorem. So square root of 4 minus 1, which is equal to square root of 3. So now we know that perpendicular is 1, base is root 3, and the hypotenuse is 2. So this will give you clearly cos x. We don't have to find this way, we simply use these results, is base upon hypotenuse, which gives us, base upon hypotenuse would be, this is the base, root 3 by 2, this is the value, but x is in second quadrant, and so we will be taking it as negative. Okay, now tan x would be equal to perpendicular upon base, which will be equal to, perpendicular is 1 upon root 3, but x is in second quadrant, so it will again be negative. Now we have found out cos and tan. So similarly now sec x is 1 upon cos x is minus 2 by root 3. Cosec x is 1 over sin x is 1 over sin x is 2, and cot x is 1 over tan x, which will be equal to minus root 3. So this way we have seen that just given one trigonometric function and the quadrant to which the angle belongs, we can find the remaining five trigonometric functions. Same way, suppose we had been given the value of, let's say, tan x or sec x, we could have found the corresponding one using this result and then found the details, or directly use the Pythagorean triplets and directly use it and get the remaining trigonometric functions. So with this you can try out the exercise questions from the exercise 3.2, and then we will again discuss the doubts if any. Thank you.